It's been a minute since we've done one of these, but I'm really excited to drop in with you and share a new deck that was gifted to the channel by Jennifer Happy Wright, my dear friend Arvivo, who has donated many wonderful decks to the channel, and I'm so very grateful, and I'm very excited to share this one with all of you. We're going to just check out the deck together. It's my first time really looking at it, and do a little unboxing and then bring in a collective read using them to break them in for the first time. And what a wonderful deck. Thank you so much, Arbivo. I'm so excited about this one, especially once I saw what it's about. It's just right up my alley, and it's right up Broad Coven's alley, actually, too. This is the Tarot of the Divine. It comes in a really beautiful box, and this is by Yoshitani. And it's inspired by deities, folklore, and fairy tales from around the world, which is just so in alignment with me and my vision for how we can make the world a little bit smaller of a place and really feel our connection with each other. It's so much comes through our oral traditions, sharing our stories, sharing our experiences, and connecting with each other to come up with that common thread of connection. And I just want to read what they have to say about it on the back of the box, because I love the description, and I know it will resonate with all of you. It says, the path to enlightenment is unique for each of us, but many of the lessons we learn are shared stories passed among cultures and generations. Tarot of the Divine brings traditional tarot archetypes to life with a lustrous series of fables, including The Little Mermaid, Aladdin, The Crane Wife, Sleeping Beauty, King Arthur, and the stories of many lesser-known legends and deities from all over the world. Just as the tarot provides ways to interpret the world around us, so too do these illuminating folk tales. So I just love this. It's so beautiful. I love the spirit of sharing around it, and let's dive into it. Okay, so it comes with this little book. The packaging is very nice. You know, it's a real sturdy box. Okay, so it'll keep your cards nice and protected. It's a nice presentation, really beautiful image of the lunar phases there on the sides. Good quality sturdy box. Okay, so it's something that will definitely protect your cards and keep them in good condition for the long haul. Nice book, you know, very simple color presentation. I like it because it discusses each of the individual cards, talks about the folk tale it's associated with. It doesn't really go into the folk tale, but that's okay, because this is a deck that I'll actually go through, and I'm going to learn about each of these folk tales, each of these fairy tales, each of these legends, because I think that'll be really key with using this deck. Of course, I won't necessarily be bringing all that in on this initial read we're doing for the unboxing, because I'm not familiar with all of these fairy tales. I see there's some really unique ones here, so I'm excited for this. But just to give you an idea here, the Empress is represented as Our Lady of Guadalupe, which is from Mexico and is a Catholic saint. And it says the Empress is a loving and protective mother. She cares for and wishes to defend all of her children. Even if a mother's love can sometimes be smothering, the world feels bright and everything blooms around her. And upright, it means fertility, nurturing, accomplishment, nature, and abundance. Reversed, feeling undesirable, anxiety, lack of concentration, smothering, selfishness. So you get a little description with each card there. And they do have pretty familiar associations with the traditional Rider-Waite tarot as far as suits are concerned. They are divided into cups and wands and swords, and then instead of pentacles they have coins. Okay, so pretty easily translatable. So I really like this as a deck that even a beginner could use, all right? Because pretty clear, clear meanings and associations that are transferable to traditional Rider-Waite, which when somebody's first learning tarot, it's helpful if, you know, the suits are easily distinguishable and kind of transferable with that traditional tarot. It just can make the learning process a little easier, okay? So we're just going to look at all the cards together. This is the Fool. That's the Little Mermaid there coming in with the Fool. And the Magician. And I think that's the Fairy Godmother. And then the High Priestess, represented by Scheherazade. And the Empress, the Virgin de Guadalupe. The Emperor, King Arthur. I love this right here. The Hierophant, White Buffalo Calf Woman. And I've been wanting for a long, long time to bring in a read at the channel around White Buffalo Calf Woman. I got a big download from her. So I will be bringing that in pretty soon here. And we'll use this deck to kind of call that energy in. We have the Lovers, the Chariot. See, I'm not familiar with this one here. Strength. Look at that wild imagery. I love it. Instead of a lion, it's an alligator. Oh, the lion's still there. Oh, there's an alligator rising up out of the lion. What a trip. That makes sense because alligators are all about digesting experiences, digesting the past. And strength is about having the ability to rise up out of the challenges of the past. Ooh, we got some druid energy coming in with the Hermit and the Legend of the White Stag. Wheel of Fortune. Ooh, yes. Got some trickster energy coming in there. I love it. Very cool. Justice. And the card stock here. Here's the back of the cards just so you can get the details there. Really pretty. Excuse the chipped manicure. There's a reason why I don't often keep up on painting my nails. It seems like I paint them and then within a day or two, everything is, you know, gone south and, well, looking a bit like this, a little ragged, but there's a real nice, like, textural quality, tactile quality. You know, the cards, it's hard to see, but they have a bit of a, like a more matte finish. They got a pretty good grip to them. So they're not real slippery, which if you do a lot of readings, you know about that. It's not fun when you're working with a really slippery deck. We have the Hanged Man here, Sleeping Beauty, Death, Temperance, represented by Avalokiteshvara, which is a Bodhisattva energy. We have the Devil. Ooh. The Tower, represented by Rapunzel. Oh, I love the imagery of that. Don't wait for somebody to save you, man. You got to save yourself. The Star. Beautiful artwork. The Moon. The Sun. The Monkey King, symbolizing judgment, which is perfect. I've told that story of the Monkey King and Kuan Yin a few times on this channel, so I love that that comes in there. The World. And here we go. We got Ace of Cups, and even the individual court cards and the minor arcana is all fairy tale oriented. So this is really cool. Two of Cups, some Gilgamesh energy there. Three of Cups, Aspara, Four of Cups, Five of Cups, Six of Cups, Seven of Cups. It's giving Aladdin vibes. Eight of Cups. Beautiful colors, beautiful imagery. Nine of Cups. 10 of Cups. Yes, we're going to look at every single card. I like, you know, looking at unboxing videos where I really get to see every card. I get to see the whole deck and all the details. There's Page of Cups, Knight of Cups, Queen of Cups, King of Cups, Ace of Coins, Two of Coins, otherwise known as a suit of Pentacles in traditional Rider-Waite, Three of Coins, Four of Coins, Five of Coins, Six of Coins, Seven of Coins, Eight of Coins, Nine of Coins, 10 of Coins, Page of Coins, Knight of Coins, Queen of Coins. I love seeing the cross-cultural influences. It's really beautiful. King of Coins, Ace of Swords, Two of Swords, Three of Swords, Four of Swords, Five of Swords, Six of Swords, Seven of Swords, Eight of Swords, Nine of Swords, 10 of Swords, Page of Swords. I can't wait to see the Queen of Swords, I have to tell you. Ooh, she does not disappoint. Knight of Swords. Check out this Queen of Swords. Yes. Look at the Queen of Swords, man. That Queen of Swords ain't playing. Ooh. A little Griffin energy. King of Swords. Very cool. I am loving that. All right. Ace of Wands. Two of Wands. There's a lot of fairy tales here that I'm not familiar with, so this is really cool. Three of Wands. Look forward to hearing about the folklore associated with these images. Four of Wands. Five of Wands. Six of Wands. Seven of Wands. Ooh. The Rainbow Crow. Eight of Wands. Native American tradition. Nine of Wands. Ah, Vasilisa. Look at Baba Yaga's hut back there. That's really cool. Okay. 10 of Wands. Page of Wands. Knight of Wands. Queen of Wands. Pele. Yes. Ooh, I love it. And King of Wands. Got some Phoenix energy there. Okay, very cool. I'm digging it. I'm digging it. I can't wait to learn about all the folklore because I absolutely will bring that in when I read with this deck. Normally, I have a lot I need to learn here though because I don't recognize all of the fairy tales that this is associated with. But once again, here's what you're looking for if you're interested in getting this deck for yourself. It is the Tarot of the Divine, and it is by Yoshitani. Really beautiful, beautiful deck and inspiration. So let's break it in, okay? Let's just do a read for the collective. Whatever wants to come out. I think this will be a great deck to use to do collective readings. I think it'll be great for doing any quest-oriented readings too. Shuffling a brand new deck is always interesting. Shuffling for the collective. Let me just call you all in. Calling in Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, woo, almost had a bunch fly off the table there. All right, Scorpio. Interesting. Don't fly off the handle, Scorpio. Chill out, man. Sagittarius. Capricorn. I'll take a minute to break these in. They are a little sturdier cards, okay? Aquarius. And Pisces. What does the collective need to know at this time, Spirit? What does the collective need to know at this time, Spirit? I'm going to get a baseline energy and cut this deck and see what we got. Ooh. Bottom of the deck. Brooding a little too much about the past, too deep in reflection, too deep in that nostalgia, needing to kind of come back to the present moment to move forward in a more empowering way. This is being overly reflective of the past with the Six of Cups in reverse. It's possible that you are really caught up in memory right now, collective. You may be thinking of a special someone that you haven't seen for a while. There may be something here where you're dealing with some struggle around this, though, where you might feel a certain heaviness or maybe even depression around somebody that's not part of your life anymore, and you're really feeling that distance. In some cases, you recently let go of someone that you really considered your soulmate, and they certainly were your soulmate, but sometimes, you know, our soulmates aren't meant to be with us for the whole journey. They come into our lives to teach us an important lesson, but I feel like you're in a very deep place of reflection around this, all right? And it's become a bit too focused on the past. There's really a need to come into the present moment in this situation, all right? So a little bit of that kind of clinging energy. We do have Pluto retrograde right now in Aquarius. So that means just as we're like trying to move into the expansion of the new, and opening up a road to new experiences, new connections, new life. There's the pull of the shadow and the past and the heaviness and what still hasn't been thoroughly released that can kind of pull us back and keep us, you know, in this place of just stagnancy, and in some cases just clinging to the things that we need to really release with a death grip, and that's holding us back. And we do have the strength to overcome these challenges, okay? Leo energy coming in very strongly here. It's important to digest the experiences of the past, but at a certain point, you need to kind of like break out of that that spell, you know. It's a spell we can put on ourselves where we start to really become like a ghost in our own lives because we're not really in the present. It's still this past representation of ourselves that we're so attached to and enmeshed in that it acts like almost a tethering cord that keeps us attached to a time and place that's already gone. So as long as we're in this process of just continually digesting the past, we never get the opportunity to really be here, be present, or be in our power where we have the ability to really affect change in our life. Or maybe if we would have done things differently, you know, it's not going to be done by reflecting back on that experience over and over and over again and brooding over it. You only have the ability to take action to change your circumstances if you are, you know, aware in this moment right now. That's where your point of power is. So I feel like this is sort of like saying, okay, you know, enough digesting, all right? You have the strength to overcome these challenges. You have the strength to rise above what held you back in the past. And now's the time to really focus on that and create that transformation in your life. Coming through very strongly for Leo collective there, okay? I also feel like this is stuff that's really going to come to a head by Leo's season because I really see the collective as a whole moving forward into that expansion in Leo season. Especially August is going to be a real PowerPoint month for the collective, and that download's been coming in for me for a while. All right, let's get some more details here, and then we'll get a little view of what's up ahead. King of Coins. All right, that is that earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. And this is about the ways that we need to sort of like preserve, you know, that foundation, preserve what we're growing for ourselves in our future. And really thinking about the seeds we're planting, because even with a tree, you know, a tree can start out as something small, you know, when it first takes root in the ground, but it grows and can live, you know, for many, many, many years, you know. Often trees outlive us. So there's this piece about really getting grounded in what's important, getting grounded in what's essential, really thinking about what you're wanting to root in your life and protecting what's essential, protecting what's meaningful to you. And also remembering all those connections, all the lessons you've learned, you know, taking that wisdom with you forward, also taking the wisdom of your ancestors forward with you. There's also the need here to just remember that, you know, your source of protection and strength is those, it comes from those foundational experiences. It comes from your bloodline. It comes from your roots. It comes from you really being rooted in your sense of strength and what gives you a foundation and a grounding in your life, which are like your core essential values, what has personal meaning for you, and also just the strength of your experience and everything that you've been building, creating for yourself, the strength you've gained from the experiences you've been through. All right. I think there's also, you know, this piece about like earth out the energy, man, you know, root it. It's time to root it. And in some cases, you may even want to do something symbolic to root the energy of anything you're still processing around the past, you know. Plant a seed now in the earth for what you want to grow, you know. maybe release to the earth, you know, give over to the earth, you know, what you're ready to shed. You know, you could even do that with a good burn, and then you can just return the ashes to the earth as symbolic of releasing things back to the earth to be composted so it can bring fresh new energy into your life where new things can grow. All right, so this is a beautiful way to work with it. All right, let's check this out. What does the collective need to know at this time, Spirit? Let's just dive into the collective energy a little bit, break in these cards, and just see what the message is for us moving forward. What does the collective need to know at this time, Spirit? What guidance do you have for the collective? What's up ahead? We know that we really need to move into the present moment and start thinking about where we want to direct our focus for growth in the future. It's time to wrap up old cycles and just be present with what is, you know, not staying stuck back in what no longer serves. That's really blocking the collective as a whole. I think the collective in general is having a rough time. Interesting. Is having a rough time moving forward, just because we've kind of become more, how can I say this? More distrustful about moving into the expansion. It's funny how the King of Coins shows up on the bottom of the deck there. Yeah, we might be having a little difficulty with rooting those visions. I think just there's been so much shakeup in the world since 2020 that our consciousness, our collective consciousness has forever changed. And there's a lot of question marks about what's up ahead. What do we have to look forward to? And there's a lot of fears that people have as well. And I think when we move into that more fearful or uncertain space, when we don't know what's up ahead, when we move through the unknown, it's really easy to sort of cling to what's familiar, even if we know it's not really serving us. At least it's predictable. And there's something about really understanding the way we betray ourselves. And it's interesting because this card flew over and it landed right on top of Sovereign Queen Mab here. Okay. So she was a very strong ruler, Sovereign Queen Mab. And I'm going to be bringing something in around her soon here too. I swear in relation to that stone of destiny, the true stone of destiny, because she factors into that. But this is really about understanding when it's time to release, because to release actually can weaken us. It can keep us from stepping into the full potential and the power of what we're meant to activate in our lives at this time. So there's been some kind of betrayal here, all right? And there's been some sense of loss about that. And there's a sense of grief around it, around what has to be released, what has to be shed at this time, because there was a strong desire that it would have turned out otherwise. But it's pointless to resist this. And in fact, staying too long in the feeling of victimization around betrayal, in fact, can actually be the greatest betrayal of yourself. Because then you abandon yourself and your own life's purpose and what you're here to do and the new potentials that await you when you let this go. So this coming through very strongly, the need to accept what's been lost, to make peace with it, and to instead take the wisdom from those experiences and be very brave and very much in your power in moving forward. I mean, Queen Mab didn't put up with anything in terms of, betrayal. She definitely, called the shots, and she had a sort of steely resolve, very stoic in nature. And, when she made orders, they were respected, people moved into action. She didn't play at all. And so I feel like there's a little bit of that needed with the collective right now where, it's kind of a time of, you got to pull yourself up by the bootstraps. It's we all get dealt with a rough hand at times, but if you just allow that to have all the power over you because you sit there just stewing about it, you're not going to get anywhere. And then it's really like you've sacrificed your power. You've given your power to those who did betray you. Nobody wins in that kind of a scenario, you know? Nobody wins. So there's something here that definitely needs to be transformed. Don't let it turn into something where you're so stuck on what happened back there, or the way that you were hurt, or the way somebody did you wrong, was disloyal to you, lied on you, whatever it may be, cheated on you, that you allow that to be the thing that's your undoing, because really you're undoing yourself. You know, you're choosing to let that person have power over your own sense of self-worth, your own value, and to define your life for you. And that's just silly if you really think about it, you know. I always say that, you know, the best revenge, the best revenge is a life well lived, you know, to move forward and to not be held back by others' actions and to stay true to yourself at the end of the day is how you really overcome betrayal, right? So I definitely feel there's been some betrayal that we've been moving through. A lot of us have been moving through ways we betrayed ourselves too, you know, just looking at ways we lied to ourselves about situations, or ways that we ignored our own inner wisdom, and then kind of like being a little too harsh with ourselves, or stuck in this place of processing that's holding us back. It's like, it's time to let that go. All right. So let's see any more details here for the collective. What does the collective need to know at this time, Spirit? About overcoming this sense of loss, this sense of betrayal, in some cases, a sense of victimhood, okay? How can the collective move out of this place of clinging to the loss, clinging to the grief, clinging to what has been shed, and instead move forward into their empowerment? What do they need to do to overcome these challenges? And what's up ahead if they take these moves to shift their current stance and start really getting rooted in what they truly value and what they want to create? I feel like we really need to put our focus on the foundation at this time. With the way that King of Coins came out twice, you know, we got to start thinking about the foundation we're creating right now. With our thoughts, with our focus in the realm of what we hope to create for our future. I mean, my goodness, it's coming in so strong, collective. I mean, we got the Five of Cups here. The Five of Cups coming in with the Knight of Swords. Like, cut it off already. Like, you cannot continue to stay in this place of mourning what needs to go. Like, it's only keeping you stuck in illusion. This is already gone. It's not what's showing up on the scene. And in fact, the minute that you accept this, it's not like it's a party, man, okay? But the minute you accept this, you find that there is something that wants to come into alignment for you. And where you felt blocked or stagnant, or like nothing was moving forward, all of a sudden things get moving forward real quickly with the Knight of Swords, and very decisively too. It's like really coming through so strongly in this read that what's holding the collective back at this time is being too fixated on the past, being too fixated on how they were hurt, how they were disappointed, how they were betrayed, how they were lied to, how they were cheated on, you know? It doesn't surprise me either, because I just have to say, even within the tarot community, there's so much focus on, you know, what's somebody's karma for hurting me, you know, and just that focus on the drama rather than focusing on progression. Okay, get it. It happens. We do need to acknowledge it. All right. We have to acknowledge unsavory truths, but at a certain point, beyond just acknowledging it, witnessing it, holding space for it, and then, you know, allowing yourself to feel what you feel about it, if necessary, communicate about it, there comes a point where it's like, you gotta let it go and you gotta get moving, man. And how are you gonna move forward? So I feel like this is where the focus needs to shift at this time. I feel like we got air moving forward here with the Knight of Swords, okay? So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, they're like, we'll show you the way. We'll show you how to get moving, man. And that's one thing that air signs are pretty good with, you know? They can detach when needed, you know? And having non-attachment doesn't mean you're cold. It doesn't mean you're uncaring. It just means there are times in life when you have to put a little logic at the forefront instead of being overly sentimental or just totally submerged in your emotions. You know, there are times when you have to make some executive decisions and you have to just call some clean shots and act on them, you know. I really think that as soon as you move out of this feeling sorry for yourself energy, you actually progress really rapidly and quite decisively, okay? So what do we move decisively toward? What do we move decisively toward? It looks like with passion and a good dose of power too, you know? It's very decisive action. You know, you need to just, you know, call something out for what it is and then move forward accordingly. It is kind of saying at this time, favor your logic a little bit more. Don't abandon what you've learned. Like, don't let yourself become so clouded with emotion that you find yourself making some sort of like, you know, decisions that merge out of that place that is, maybe decisions that merge, interesting. Maybe it's decisions about mergers. Okay. You know, coming together with things that is more rooted in your place of feeling more weakened or what you lack or what you lost. That's not a very empowering way to move forward. You know what I mean? It can put you in a position where you might merge with dubious opportunities. You know what I mean? Yeah, you gotta invoke a little bit of that Pele energy, right? Go forward with passion, you know? Let that air breathe life into your fire by being decisive and taking action to cut off what has been keeping you really in this place of over sentimentality, just caught up in nostalgia, feeling sorry for yourself, feeling stuck in the grief, in the desire to like hold on to this thing just in case there might be something left to wring out of it. I mean, do we really want to revive something where you got to like wring it out of it? No, it should just move forward spontaneously. And it's like once you get to this place where you can just accept this and you act decisively and go, okay, enough of that, you know? I'm going to pull myself up by the bootstraps. This is what it is. This is what happened. I've allowed myself to feel sorry for myself long enough. It's time to get my act together. I know what I need to do next, you know? I got to deal with my life as it is right here, right now. You move forward, and that movement forward starts to really put you in touch with your inner fire. It's time to take action. Enough sitting around, you know? Enough sitting around moaning and groaning about what you have to let go of. Instead, think about what you're charging forward to. Think about how releasing this weight actually frees you up to move forward. And then I think you'll connect with your passion and your purpose in life. That's what Pele is going to bring in. And what you may not realize right now, okay? What you may not realize is that in cutting this off and getting that energy and that inspiration to actually just get over it and move forward, what awaits you is a transformation that you don't see right now. It's coming together with that very thing that's been waiting for you. And it's what wants you, you want. You know what I'm saying? What you want wants you. Maybe, oh, that's interesting though, because maybe that's kind of been the problem, you know? Maybe you feel like you always end up in these situations where it's like, what I want never wants me, you know? it's always the case where the person that wants me isn't the person that I'm attracted to. So maybe that's coming through for some of you. You feel like that? Well, I think this is where those tables are finally flipping, you know? And maybe that's a story you have to stop telling yourself. Maybe you always, fixate on that because what? It's happened one time, 2 times, 3 times, whatever. We all have stories of that to share where we wanted somebody, we really wanted to come together with somebody. We really had the feels for them. We were in love with them and they chose somebody else, and then we had somebody else approach us who was really into us, but we weren't into them. There's songs written about it. Love Stinks. That's a song that was written about that, It seems to go like that. It's just like a Murphy's Law kind of thing. But if you're somebody who always focuses on that and you think that that's just the way your love story is going to go, you will inevitably create that love story for yourself over and over and over again. So I think this is a case where once you let go of some of your fixed ideas, once you let go of feeling sorry for yourself or telling yourself a story about why it didn't work out, that keeps you in a place where you're not really, it's like, get it together, man. Enough feeling sorry for yourself or letting one person's rejection or, passing you by to choose another become your life statement about who you are, your desirability and what you deserve. That's just absolutely ridiculous. The reality is that, that passed you by for a reason. That doesn't mean that every opportunity is going to pass you by. That doesn't mean that you're always going to be alone. That doesn't mean that you're always going to be passed over for somebody else. If you think that, if you believe that, if you nurture that, you will continue to create that scenario because that's the way manifestation works, We have negative experiences. Negative experiences happen to everyone, but it's our attachment to those negative experiences that creates the story of our life because life will always validate what you believe. It will. Life will always validate what you believe. But if you're able to take a different view of it, if you're able to take a more pragmatic view and go, whew, I'm really glad that it didn't work out because I really want to be with somebody who's just as into me as I'm into them. And obviously that wasn't the right person, and if you can shift it and really just have blind faith that maybe, just maybe, this didn't work out because there's something better for you, then sometimes your whole life story can shift just with that little shift in consciousness. This looks like what wants you want this time around, okay? But that's not going to happen if you stay stuck there, right? So this is a little bit about just, trusting what can't be seen right now. Can you stay in your power? Can you trust? Can you trust in that sovereignty, all right, with the High Priestess, that there's something more for you here, okay? That this thing, whatever it is that you've been moaning and groaning about, it's not the end-all be-all. There's something on the other side of this. It looks like alignment to the tune of the Four of Wands. And for a lot of you, this is about love. This is about coming together with another, somebody who will appreciate you, somebody who will value you, someone who wants you, and you want them. Oh my goodness. All right, it's not even Mercury retrograde. I've been having so many problems lately, just weird things coming out of my mouth, It is what it is. I don't know what to say. I just got to roll with it. I got to roll with it. It doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be pure and true, man. Maybe that's something that's meant to come forward for the collective too. Maybe you're too worried about things being perfect. Sometimes things get messy. Sometimes we take a fall. Sometimes things don't turn out the way we thought they would. It doesn't matter, man. Your life doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to be pure and true. Start to align with that a little bit more and trust yourself a little bit more. You need to really trust yourself more with that High Priestess there. And trust that just because you can't see it yet doesn't mean that there isn't something beautiful up ahead for you, because it looks like it's coming in with that Four of Wands. Any final details for the collective? Any final details for the collective and what awaits them, Spirit? Any final details there? The High Priestess, that's Cancer energy, Pisces energy, okay? All right. Bottom of the deck, King of Swords. There's the Griffin. We know the story about the Griffin, okay? That's came in recently on Broad Coven when we were looking at our reality tunnel that we were setting for the week. Griffins can sometimes be sent out by wizards to steal treasure, okay? Maybe you have been dealing with a wild card element, a hidden element. Maybe there has been a little saboteur on your path, a challenger. A nemesis is good every now and then, you know, it pulls certain metal out of you that you wouldn't get otherwise. There will always be a challenger on the path. And certainly, you know, if you are somebody who's focused on growth, if you are a spiritually oriented person, as you progress on your path, you will face challenges. There's some treasure here, perhaps, that a certain high priestess has had their eyes on. You may be sensing this, okay? You may be sensing that there's somebody around you who's trying to interrupt your destiny or come between you and that is meant for you. But I have to tell you, that's just a story you're telling yourself, because you got victory here with the Six of Wands. You know, you've already overcome this. This is the thing, like what's earmarked for you will never be taken from you. You know, can you deal with difficulties on the way there? Yes, but those difficulties are there to teach you something, okay? Yeah, I see a lot of you have been struggling with this theme. We have the Lovers in reverse. It's like you feel like a choice was taken away from you and your hope was stolen as a result with the Star in reverse. You feel very star-crossed and you feel like an injustice has been done here. You feel like something was meant for you and then somebody came in and in a very sneaky, subversive way stole away what should have been yours. Right, this might be why you're reading the Riot Act and why you feel so bitter here. But, you know, I don't necessarily feel that's true, okay? Griffins sent by wizards to steal dragons' treasure. Okay, well, there is some victory here. This feels like you feel like somebody took what was yours unfairly. You feel like somebody interfered and your intuition is firing off about this. And I do feel like there's this desire to call someone to the mat over it. All right. What's the truth about this, Spirit? How will things really turn out in this situation where there was an injustice, an interference that caused, you know, some kind of obstacles on the path? I mean, we have to remember, whenever we have challenges on our path, it is something that is meant to teach us. It's meant to teach us something that we need to cultivate. Seven of Swords. Okay, well, you know, you may be right here, I have to tell you. Seven of Swords. Okay, there's been a little sneaky activity here for sure. Has there been trickery? Yes, but we also have to look here with Coyote medicine. It can be the ways that you trick yourself and sabotage yourself. You know, we do have a bit of drama in this situation with the Five of Wands. That might be why you're so caught up here. I mean, I have to say, we got the Magician here on the other side. All right. Magician, the High Priestess. You know, maybe it's smoke and mirrors between the two of you, I have to say. Isn't this interesting? Could it be the fears, the false fears that you have created with the object of your affection that's actually running you around in circles, chasing your tail and making you believe that there's actually something in the way of this thing coming together, when maybe all that's in the way is your own fear, okay? Because This card, the Magician, is the fairy godmother. So there's some wish that's actually being granted here. But you can't see it because you're in the Eight of Swords. All right? Kind of making a little bit of an ass out of yourself, collective. You know, you're a little caught up in your head. You're afraid. You're feeling victimized. You know, this is nonsense. Like nothing's been taken from you. What wants you, you want. What you want wants you. You know, it's the truth in this situation. But there's all these fears that are related to times when you missed out, or somebody passed over you, or you were the one who was left behind. And so if you are dealing with this sort of character on your path, maybe you are dealing with somebody who's been interfering. Maybe you did deal with a third party situation. Maybe this rocked you a bit. Okay. The thing is that what's meant for you can never be interfered with. And so if that's coming up on your path, start to look at the challengers on your path as actually being there to benefit you, so you can get over the stuff that's keeping you from coming into alignment with that thing that wants you to, right? Because we create our own blockages. We do. And there's something that's transforming here that you can't see, because I really feel like the only thing that's holding the collective back is their own fear, their own sense of victimization, their need to wallow and, you know, kind of focus on how they've been done wrong. All of this is what's holding you in a place of stagnancy when you're really meant to move forward with passion and purpose. Knight of Wands energy, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, all right? To this, the Two of Cups, all right? This is about coming into union. This is about coming into alignment with that which is meant for you. The only injustice here is that you give up hope because you feel like life has it out for you. It's just not the case. It's just sometimes certain things aren't meant for you. You shouldn't have to struggle and fight to make something work. You shouldn't have to force your way. You shouldn't have to compete, okay? And certainly not for something like love. So, you know, as soon as you get caught up in that and you view another as an enemy and you get embroiled in this kind of stuff, you're just keeping yourself stuck and you're doing an injustice to yourself. The beauty is just in acceptance and flowing with experiences. When it's meant to come together, it comes together. It's beautiful. It flows. There's not all this friction. You know, there's not all this stress and striving and competing. It's two souls coming together because they're inexplicably drawn together. And they know we're meant to come together and share this experience. And it's harmonious. It's not forced. It's natural. It just flows, you know. So don't get caught up in this, because anytime you're caught up in this kind of like a dynamic, that's stemming from the ego. When you actually look at things in that way, that this person stole this from me. They stole this person from me. They stole this experience from me. They betrayed me. They did an injustice to me. Now, I'm not saying it's not foul. You know, if somebody did you like that, of course, you know. Do you have a right to be upset about it? Sure. But don't let it rule your life. Why would you even want to like cling to somebody like that? Why would you want that, to have all this free rent in your consciousness? Like, why would you want to fixate on somebody who disrespected you in such a way? Like, accept it. Accept it, consider it, dodging a bullet, okay? Admit to yourself the way you ignored red flags, the way you ignored your intuition, the way you told yourself stories to believe the situation was other than it was, because that's always the way it goes, all right? And stop making yourself a victim and just trust and open yourself up to the possibility that maybe it's the best thing that happened to you, because it's actually freeing you up to come into alignment with what's truly meant for you. And it looks like there's alignment happening here, but this alignment won't come until you really accept that what happened there is for the best, even if it looks like it's the worst, all right? Something's turning around here, and it's a bit of magic that's brewing, I have to tell you. And it does look like you're coming together with somebody very, very special here, all right? And the only thing that's going to hold you back is your fear. Your fear and your attachment to the drama, to the pain, to that story back there, and your sense of being a victim. As soon as you set yourself free from that and accept the truth that life is what you make it, you know, moving forward. I mean, sometimes really crappy things happen to us and we have to accept them. We can't just sit there fighting it tooth and nail or wishing it to be otherwise. 55 on the clock. I mean, this is the change that needs to happen. Non-attachment, man, it's a beautiful thing. Let me tell you, it makes your life so much better. It just makes your life so much better when you just trust that anything that falls away was meant to. I'm not saying it's necessarily an easy consciousness shift. It usually takes some time, but once you can really get yourself in a space where you understand what that experience taught you, why it showed up, you know, and you get it, the faster you see that there's no need to like sit around feeling bad about it, you know? If somebody doesn't value you, like, why would you want to hold on to that person? Whatever. I'd rather open myself up to somebody who really does recognize that I'm worth having in their life and they'll appreciate me, right? I mean, this is a no-brainer. And maybe that's a bit of what that logic is about. Like, again, if you get too caught up in over sentimentality, if you get too caught up in emotions and you don't really look at things logically, like, this is really what happened here. This is how I really felt about it. This doesn't feel fair. This doesn't feel good. You know, this isn't what I'm wanting. It's like sometimes you need to really like snap yourself out of it to come in the present moment and really look at something as it is. And I feel like that's the only shift you need to make. You need to stop, you know, sort of seeing the past through this filtered lens that makes it look better than it was. Once you do that, it's like it like snaps some sense into you. You know what I mean? And then you move into action. You start moving forward, and it looks like very quickly you come into alignment with who you're meant to come into alignment with. And I feel like it comes in such a way that you're then going to find it so silly. And I do feel like in a lot of cases too, there may be two people who know, like, we're supposed to be together, but you're both so freaking scared that you're telling yourself these stories and you're keeping each other, you know, in this place of longing for one another, when if you just like got over your BS and, you know, stop being so much in your ego, your pride, you know, you'd already be enjoying the start of your new chapter together. It's like it's all there waiting for you once you get over your fear collective. Okay, cut of the deck energy. 10 of Wands. All right. You know, it's like the growth comes from the ending. All right. The growth comes from the ending, not from clinging to the old. Yes, the growth comes from the ending. Look at this, 8 of Coins, all right? If you want to move in a partnership with life, you have to accept the endings. The endings are what leads to new growth and things moving forward here, all right? And it leads you to the sun, all right? So just trust. There is happiness up ahead. It's a couple months off, okay? I'm telling you, Leo season's going to be really good. But you can get caught up if you want. You can stay stuck doing this dance with the devil, all right? Thinking about your own egoic gratification, thinking about, you know, how it should have gone down this way because this is how it was supposed to go. Maybe accept that you don't know everything. Maybe you've been lying to yourself about the way something should have went, you know? Maybe it happened just the way it needed to, and you won't understand that until you look back in hindsight. I think you just need to move forward from this moment and just let it go. Release, trust, you know? Don't worry about how they're going to learn their lesson for doing you wrong back there. It doesn't freaking matter. It doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter what they're doing or the choices they're making. What matters is, what are you doing? What choices are you making? Get moving, because your life is ready to turn around. But only once you give yourself the freedom to really go for what your heart truly desires. Because remember, what wants you, you want. What you want, wants you. It's not the old story. It's time for something new.